Welcome back to my views and news. Some new stories from Ethiopia, Eritrea and Sudan. Firstly, Amhara, a region of Ethiopia where last night Fano fighters attacked a police prison station. Several Fano fighters, former Amhara Special Force members and sympathizers of the Fano faction were freed in this attack. Where did this attack happen? Across Amhara region, we are seeing a face-off between Fano fighters and Ethiopian security forces. Second news story from the Tigray region of Ethiopia, where it seems that Tigray archbishops boycotted today's visit of the Patriarch. Abune Matthias, the Patriarch of the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, visited Tigray too this morning. He arrived in Tigray. Who welcomed him? Was there presence of Tigray archbishops too? The Patriarch announced aid. Is this aid for Tigray archbishops or for Tigray interim government? Why did the archbishops boycott Abune Matthias' visit? Thirdly, viewers, IGAD Summit in Addis Ababa, Ethiopian capital today, seems to be a failure. Four leaders were expected to attend this meeting: from Ethiopia, PM Abiy; from Kenya, William Ruto; from Djibouti, Ismail Omar; from South Sudan, Salva Kiir. How many arrived? Invitation was sent to Rapid Support Forces and the Sudanese military too, who attended this summit on behalf of RSF and Sudanese military. The summit seems to be a failure. Fourthly, viewers, very importantly, Giessen, Germany, where we saw clashes between Eritrean opposition groups and police. Several police officers and protesters were injured. Today, Giessen mayor spoke. Festival came to an end yesterday, but Giessen mayor today criticized Eritrean government. He said power struggle on the streets of Giessen, power struggle between Eritrean groups is unacceptable. He demanded that Eritrean ambassador be summoned. I have details of his talk for you. Firstly, viewers, Fano fighters are continuing their attacks on police officers, police stations, police prisons. Allegedly, they have assassinated three key figures in the Amhara region so far. They were accused of having assassinated Girma Shtila. Then allegedly they assassinated Dajan police chief and vice chief in deputy chief in Gojam, and after that they assassinated allegedly Abdo Hussain, a Shorobit security head. Another police official was also shot at in Shorobit. And they have carried out several attacks on police buildings in the past 2 months or so. Attacks in Shorobit, in Marsa, in Saint, in Kobo, in Voldia. List goes on. Because several attacks. Purpose is to make Amhara regional police dysfunctional, to paralyze the entire security apparatus. And now they are so powerful that they can attack a prison too, like OLA attacks. OLA is known for attacking prisons. We have seen that recently too, when Ola attacked a prison in Bishoftu, then another prison in East Oromia. Some Ola fighters were freed. Same is happening now in the Amhara region of Ethiopia. Last night, Fano fighters attacked a police prison station reportedly. The attack happened in Kobo. In last night's video, I reported about fighting between Fano fighters and security forces near Kobo. It seems there was fighting not only near Kobo but also at Kobo police prison station. Dozens of Fano fighters stormed the police prison station in this attack. Unknown number of Fano fighters former Amhara Special Force members and Fano supporters was freed. How many were freed? It's not clear, but because government is silent. Government has not said anything about this attack. We confirm this attack through some sources. On the ground, they confirm that police prison station of Kobo came under attack last night. Any statement from Kobo city government, from Amhara government? No. Total silence. But things cannot be covered up. Fano fighters, this is second attack by Fano fighters. Third, I think, yes. This is third attack by Fano fighters on a police prison station. They carried out a similar attack in Marsa too, I remember, and one in Gondar too. Third attack, and they reportedly they managed to free several of their comrades. You see that people say, Sajid, you just play up. You exaggerate what is happening in Amhara. Fano fighters, just a bunch of fighters with no organization, with no capabilities. You just make up stories. I don't make up stories. What is happening in Amhara region is a very systematic insurgency. It is taking shape. Central leadership emerging. Groups getting stronger in number. They are able to carry out attacks on police stations, police officers, PP members like Ola. If this insurgency is not stopped now, believe me, Amhara region will become destabilized. It's already destabilized. The instability which we have been seeing in Oromia is starting in Amhara region. This is the time to intervene. But the mode of intervention adopted by the government is military intervention. They have launched a military operation. But this military operation is proving counterproductive. Fano fighters are getting more public support. People start blocking movement of Ethiopian militaries or convoys. Fano fighters getting more recruits. When Fano fighters die, Fano does not hide the deaths. Rather, those who die, they are buried and their services are acknowledged. People are asked to join Fano. Amhara diaspora supporting, fundraising ongoing in the US and other parts of the world. You see, it's not just that a few Fano factions are operating separately. No. We are seeing a systematic start of an insurgency in the Amhara region of Ethiopia. So far, no meaningful and no constructive intervention by the government. Government is calling these Fano fighters terrorists, extremists. Military operation underway, counterproductive so far reportedly. Secondly, second news story is from the Tigray region of Ethiopia, where we know that Abune Matthias, the Patriarch, arrived in Mekelle this morning. He is on reconciliation mission, accompanied by Abune Serios and some Ethiopian elders who welcomed him. Where were Tigray archbishops, Ababa, Marha Christos and others? Were they there to welcome Abune Matthias? Did they attend meetings with Abune Matthias? Well, I have been monitoring Abune Matthias' engagements in Tigray. I could not see a single picture, video showing Tigray archbishops with Abune Matthias, the Patriarch. The Patriarch was seen with Getachew, Tigray interim president. He handed over financial support to Tigray, 20 million Ethiopian birds announced by the church today. And this cash was handed over reportedly to Tigray interim president. There was meeting between Getachew and the Patriarch Abune Matthias. Where were Tigray archbishops? I have not seen a single picture, video so far. Reportedly, Tigray archbishops boycotted Abune Matthias's today's visit. Abune Matthias was not alone, accompanied by Ethiopian church elders. I think is Tigray playing good cop, bad cop? The Tigray interim government is ready to receive aid, 20 million Ethiopian birds. Tigray archbishops not ready to sit with the main church. Is it a good cop, bad cop strategy? Is Tigray trying to tell the world, tell Ethiopia that politics and religion, administrative affairs and religious affairs are separate, which are not, by the way, in Ethiopia. Let's see if there is a reconciliation between Tigray and the main church, but Getachew has received 20 million Ethiopian birds from the main church. It was being said that there could be reconciliation, gradual reconciliation between Tigray archbishops and the main church. But the way Tigray archbishops boycotted, you can say, today's Abune Matthias's visit, it means that this tension will continue for some time. What is going to be end game? We don't know. But Tigray archbishops are not ready to immediately reconcile with the main church, it seems, reportedly. Thirdly, viewers, third news story is about IGAD Summit held in Addis Ababa. Intergovernmental Authority on Development is a regional platform comprising 8 countries: Ethiopia, Eritrea, Sudan, South Sudan, Djibouti, Kenya, and other countries are members. IGAD is trying to intervene in Sudan. It formed a committee of 4 African leaders to mediate between Al-Burhan and Hamati. PM Abiy of Ethiopia, William Ruto, President of Kenya, Ismail Omar, President of Djibouti, South Sudan, Salva Kiir were announced as members of the committee. William Ruto was appointed head of the committee. Sudanese military rejected Kenya as president of the committee. It requested that Salva Kiir should lead the committee. RSF rejected that initiative altogether. But a summit was held in Addis Ababa, Ethiopian capital, which seems to be a failure. It was attended by PM Abiy and William Ruto. From Djibouti, Ismail Omar did not attend the summit. And Djibouti is IGAD chair. Djibouti is heading IGAD. Ismail Omar sent his foreign minister, Mahmoud Yusuf. On behalf of Ismail Omar, he was there. South Sudan, Salva Kiir did not attend the summit as well. He sent a special envoy, Benjamin Bolmel. Salva Kiir absent, Ismail Omar absent. RSF sent its spokesperson, Yusuf Izzat. Sudanese military, Sudanese government sent a delegation, but it did not attend the talks. It did not attend the summit. It said that Kenya should be removed from presidency. If Kenya is removed from the presidency, it can be a member, not a president. Then Sudanese delegation can attend the summit. Delegation arrived in Addis Ababa. It did not attend the IGAD summit. Now, IGAD is proving to be a failure, it seems. And IGAD today proposed the idea of deployment of East Africa Special Force to Khartoum, to Sudan. And IGAD is proposing that East Africa Summit should be held. Discussion should be held for the deployment of a regional force to ensure that humanitarian aid reaches the people in need. It asked the parties to agree to a truce, and it has been asking the parties to agree to the establishment of a humanitarian zone of around 30-kilometer radius in Khartoum. Of course, this proposal stands rejected. Neither RSF nor Sudanese army are going to agree to this proposal. IGAD I don't think is going to be helpful in the resolution of this conflict, because IGAD's this committee has become controversial. Kenya will have to step aside. PM Abiy there, PM Abiy trying to be a player, but South Sudan is a more significant player than Ethiopia or Kenya. South Sudan has direct links with parties, with groups in Sudan. And Salva Kiir's absence from today's meeting indicates that IGAD's initiative isn't going to succeed. It will have to make some changes, it seems. Lastly, viewers, Giessen, Germany, Giessen mayor lashed out at Eritrean government in a statement after the end of a two-day festival. On Saturday and Sunday, Eritrean government-backed festival was held in Giessen. Opposition groups protested. There were clashes between opposition groups, Eritrean opposition groups, and Giessen police. More than 20 Giessen police officials were injured. Several protesters were injured. Two Giessen government, local government banned the festival, but court allowed that festival can be held. Now, Giessen mayor has issued a statement. Giessen mayor says that Eritrean power struggle should not be fought on Giessen streets. Life in Giessen came to a standstill on Saturday and Sunday. People suffered, businesses closed, traffic flow disrupted, people's right to movement, right to assembly violated, internal cohesion of Germans disturbed. An Eritrean organizer wanted to celebrate a festival at this cost. Is this cost acceptable? Giessen mayor is sending a message to the courts that court allowed the organizing of this festival. The court should review maybe next year. And secondly, he clearly said that Foreign Office must summon Eritrean ambassador. A strong message should be sent to Eritrean government that Eritrean internal affairs, internal conflict should not reach German borders. It means that it could be difficult for Eritrean festival organizer to get permission for this festival next year. Overall, very strong message from the mayor to Eritrean government, to German government, to courts as well. At the same time, he condemned attacks on police. He said attacks on police unacceptable. Images which were aired from Giessen unbearable. That is why there must be discussions that it does not happen again in Germany. Opposition groups registered a message at a very heavy cost. They could face the cost. Yes, the organizer is going to be under pressure next year, but so far he's managed to organize the festival successfully because police protected the venue. Overall, if we see similar confrontation between Eritrean opposition groups and festival organizers in other parts of Europe, we could see more questions asked by Western governments. And both sides will have to answer these questions. Eritrean opposition groups, their members are endangering their stay, their residence in Europe. And government-backed groups are also being held accountable that they want to organize festivals, and these festivals are leading to conflicts. Local Europeans are suffering just because Eritreans, they want to remember their culture, their history. So if it's a source of conflict, it means these Eritreans, pro-government, they should also realize that what they are doing is leading to conflict in European societies. Overall, a message has been registered by opposition groups. Let's see how this message will be taken further by opposition groups and by Eritrean government-backed groups in Europe. Thank you for watching.